What is creativity? And by the way, do we need creativity today? Welcome to online platform that we call Marketplace Believers, an online platform that engages, equips, and encourages believers in leadership and in marketplaces to be useful in their own lives. My name is John Kimani. Now we've been talking about giant killers, and the biggest question that we've been asking is very simple. And the question that we've been asking is how is what is the trait of giant killers? And one that comes out apart from resourcefulness and reliability is the giant killers are creative. And what is creativity? By the way, somebody defined creativity as willingness to look stupid sometimes. It is the willingness to look stupid at times. And by the way, if you look at the story of David, when he went to face Goliath, the strange thing is that when he was given the military tunic by by King Saul, what did he do? He removed it. And we actually ask a question: why did he remove it? Upon understanding the answer to this question, we are going to be challenged on becoming creative, because we cannot live in a world like today, and for us to be able to survive post corona, post covid times, then we need to learn a thing or two about creativity. Because one of the things that covid is actually doing in our lives is showing us that the old order of doing things is becoming obsolete, is becoming irrelevant. And I want to provide for us five reasons why I think David removed the tunic. Number one, it would have made him to become ineffective. You need to remember that Saul was the tallest, and so his frame was so big. David was only 17-year old. So you can think a dress that should be worn by the tallest man in the land being worn by a 17-year-old, which means it would have been too big for him. It would have made him um, ineffective. He would not have been productive. He would not have scored. He would have failed and failed miserably. And so it is very important for us to be able to understand um, that that's why he took it off. Again, he was not even used to it. He had not practiced it, and would have made him ineffective. And we must stop going for things because they are trendy, and because it is because it's the new thing in the town. We must ask ourselves: are we going to improve, or are we going to become better under the circumstances? So it would have made him ineffective. Number two, it would have made him to look like an imitator, or not an innovator. And an imitator is somebody who copy paste, is a copy paste kind of a guy. He just looks at around and sees what people are doing, goes and copy paste like it is his own, and sell. Is that what now, when we were living in the world of CDs, is that what we were doing? Or copy pasting things. What an inventor is a law breaker. Is somebody who breaks the rules. Is somebody who steps out of the box and does something that is not done by other people, and goes out and employs, actually defies the conventional wisdom, and does something that is not done by others. Look at Wright brothers. What did they do? They went out there in a bicycle garage. What did they make? A plane. They believed that they can be able to make an electric bird to fly. Look at what is happening today. Number three, I believe that David threw away or discarded the military tunic, not only because it would have made him ineffective, or because it would make him an imitator. But I think number three, because it would make him look an imposter, look like a fake, look like a bonoko kind of a guy. You know, He was not an army officer, for your information. He was a shepherd. And again, he was a 17-year-old boy. He was not even qualified to be an army. So, should he have dressed up in this military tunic, he would have looked like an imposter. Somebody who is doing things that he is not qualified to do. He would have somebody who have taken a shortcut towards in Kiganjo or in a police training college. And for most of us, this is the thing that we really enjoy. We really want shortcuts in life, not David. Number four, it would have made him to look irrelevant. It would have made him to look unimportant. When we copy what does not belong to us, when we pretend to be where we are not, we become then irrelevant. We do not add value in life. And you see, there are four levels in life that most of us we keep on changing. Now let me begin with level four. Level four is what I call creating a zone, and this is where David is. And this is where he said, I am going to do things that I've never tried before. And at this level, what you do is that you stop. You do things that you've never really tried to do. You try new books, you try new ideas, you try just simply new things that you've never tried or never thought you can do. And David was that at that level because he had never tried slings and stones with a real human being, but he tried. Now, that level, which most of us actually never get close, is called the challenging zone. And in challenging zone, what we actually do is that for David, he simply asked a question that nobody else was willing to ask, and he was at a little bit higher. But again, the level number two, which most of us are, is called comfort zone, which actually Goliath enjoyed for 40 days and for 40 nights. Goliath really enjoyed this comfort zone where he was only winner, where he was the only champion, where everybody bowed to him, when everybody reasoned to him. Status quo. And status quo is for most of us, we say, okay, that belongs to so and so. That is so and so status. We accept the status that we are in. We say, this is how we should be. Just like the invalid of 38 years, he said, this is the way I'm used to. Every time when I try to get in there, I get in last, and so I don't get healed. A state of helplessness, a state of victim, and we accept the fate. But again, even lowest is what we call coasting level, which is level number one, where we do as little as possible. We just say this is how things are. You cannot be able to be successful in Kenya as a businessman because this is how Kenya is. And both King Saul and Abner were in this state. What can I do? This guy is a champion. He is fully equipped. He is the champion. What can we do? There's nothing that we can do about it. But again, David knew that for him to be important, for him to reject irrelevance in his life, then he had to do what? He had to go there and engage and challenge, and he had to look for a new way of handling Goliath, other than the way the people you were used to fighting. The rules of the game is that Goliath was an infantry. He was a foot soldier. What did David do? He said, I'm not going to engage you as a foot soldier because, of course, you have the advantages, all the advantages of winning. I'm going to engage you in a level that we call a slinger. I'm going to fight you from another completely direction, which you're not used to. And that made him relevant. That's why when he was done with Goliath, that's why the king said, can I see him? Can he come and talk to me? Whose son are you? And almost immediately he was enlisted in King Paris. As believers, we actually need to be relevant. In your workplace, you really need to be relevant. You need to stand out. And how do you stand out? By employing other new options, other new ideas that can help you to be able to be relevant. And then finally, David discarded the military tunic because he wanted to handle impossible things in life. It was for 40 days and for 40 nights, it was almost impossible for anybody. And, to think that Goliath can be killed. Everybody who saw Goliath, they said he is too big to fight. He is too big to hit. But when David comes here, of course, coming with creativity, coming with God and the grace and the anointing of God, what did he do? I can handle this challenge. I can be able to bring this giant down. In other words, David came in and destroyed some what we call creativity killers. The reason why you're not able to overcome that challenge, the reason why you stagnated in your life, the reason why most of us are not able to move into the next level of their lives is very simple. It's because they have not, or they are not able to identify the creative killers in their own life. And then number two, they are not able to reject and to fight these creative killers. And allow me to mention some of them. Some of the creative killers is that it cannot be done. Another creative killer is that we tried that and failed. Another creative killer, there's only one answer to this problem. Another issue is it can never work. And then maybe it is not practical. Those kind of things. We say it can't work. Nobody can afford it. It looks impractical. It looks illogical. Those are creative killers. And as long as you employ, as long as you entertain such creative killers in your life, then you are going to have a lot of impossibilities in your life. Whoever thought that boys, as and uneducated boys like right brothers from a garage, from a bicycle garage, would be able to invent or be able to make what we call an aeroplane? Who thought that somebody like Thomas Edison would be able to manufacture light bulb? Who thought that a world like today we can have what we call 5G, a seamless, effective and fast way of sending data or information from any corner of the globe? Whoever thought that that would be possible? It is only somebody who have decided to defeat creative killers in his own life. So, do you need to be creative? If the answer is yes, let me suggest five things. So, how do you become creative? Let me suggest five things. Number one, shun from creative killers. Shun from creative killers. Number two, stay in a creative environment. Stay in a creative environment. Number three, strive to get into new grounds. Strive to get into new grounds. And then number four, stay with creative person. Stay with creative persons. And then number five, stretch your mind by accepting opportunities. Let me take that again. How do you become creative? Number one, shun from creative killers. Number two, stay in a creative environment. Number three, strive to get into new grounds. Number four, stay with creative persons. Number five, stretch your mind by accepting opportunities that come your way. By the way, if you would want to take a course on creativity, please just inbox your name and we shall be able to follow you up. And this is John Kimani, and what we call Marketplace Believers, an online platform in which we engage, equip, and encourage believers, whether in leadership, civil service, and in business world, to be useful in their world. Now, by the way, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? Why don't you, and our social media? Please join the link that we've provided there. And until next week, such a time as this, my name is John Kimani. Remember what we always say here in our Zekana. Have a blessed night. Thank you.